Well, the reality is that wage growth is stagnant, rising to just £518 a week. If you believe it, that's just £1 more than it was this time last year. And that rise of 0.1% is the smallest since 1997. And that means in real terms, when you account for inflation, the average amount we're paid is now back to the same level it was nearly a decade and a half ago in 2000. Now, the financial crisis triggered this decline. You can see the moment it hit here. And now weekly pay has fallen away and currently stands at about £11.61 an hour. But of course, some workers have fared far worse than others. 70% of those in full-time work have actually seen their pay go up by more than 4%, 4.1% to be precise. But when you factor in all full-time workers, that pay rise drops to just 0.1%. That's the £1 we're talking about. And it's the people who are recently back into work or moving between jobs that are really feeling the pinch. And there's also, of course, a big difference between the public and private sectors. And it may not be the difference that you're expecting, considering the focus on cutting back on public spending. But in that sector, the pay rise is actually higher at 1%. Of course, frozen there, but still greater than the pay rise in the private sector of just 0.7%. And where you live matters too. The majority of the higher salaries across the country are paid into London, to Londoners. And this map shows really how extreme the problem is, the red being some of the highest salaries across the country. But another so-called problem seems to actually be improving slightly. The gender pay gap has narrowed from 10% last year to 9.4% now. Still a heck of a gap. Now, the worst paid professions are waiters and bar staff and hairdressers. But if you're just in it for the money, these are the jobs to take. Two of them in the airline industry. Air traffic controllers are the highest paid group in the UK. Pilots and CEOs fare very well too.